Alright, so welcome to Have You Played It? My name is James Patterson, aka Sharnif on Twitch, Sharnif on YouTube, Sharnif1 on Twitter. Alright, well, I'm joined with Pasqual Artis, aka Squal Art. How are you doing today?
What's up, dude? How's it going?
I'm fantastic. And for the kids out there, I'm flippin' great. So
Cool.
today I had this idea to do a video game video. I've just been really excited for it because I've been having just dreams about, old school games that I've played. And I know you're an artist, and I know that a lot of your inspiration comes from the games that you played as a kid.
Yeah, for sure. That's true.
So, like, how much of your work that you do would you say even is inspired by just some game that you played or a show that you watched as a kid? Or
Depending on what it is, I mean, a good amount. Definitely my more creative, ideas have some root of video games or whatever. If you think of how, I don't know, on Adventure Time, how everything kind of seems like they're playing D&D.
right.
I like to think that my comic strips or certain things like that have that gaming element to it, because I definitely grew up playing Super Nintendo and stuff.
Yeah. So I think we've both definitely played a fair share of video games. We can definitely say that we're semi authorities on the subject. But
Yeah, I don't know if I would say authority, but I've played a lot of games, but mostly older games. I wasn't really, I never really had an Xbox or a PlayStation, but I played a lot of Super Nintendo, N64, Sega, even Atari stuff I played a lot of.
Alright, so that's a really good lead into my next question, which is what's your favorite game of all time? And then that's gonna be the first game to go on the Have You Played It list. That's rule number one.
Okay, well, let's ask another question first. What color do you want to be?
Oh, okay, I like blue, or green, rather.
You want to be green? Okay. So I'll just be blue for the sake of
Green me up.
simplicity. And you will be green.
Green versus pink.
Then we're going to...
I was always green in Age of Empires.
Oh, yeah.
It's like I picked a super bright green. So
Age of
people would
Empires.
fear my neon invasion.
Age of Empires is a great game. I love that so much. Alright, so we're looking for... We got the pink in the middle.
Boom.
So go ahead and that's not be like that.
Yeah, make it big.
Alright.
So what's the best game of all time?
My favorite game of all time. That's a really good question. I guess I'm not super prepared to. I haven't really thought about it too much.
I can go first if you want.
Yeah,
I'll
why
give
don't
you a
you go
minute to
first?
think about it. I think the best game of all time is World of Warcraft.
World of Warcraft.
And I know that you did play it for a minute, but is that enough to put it in the pink
I don't
section?
think so. No, I'll let you be the World of Warcraft guy, because I only played up to maybe level 10. So
Okay.
it's not really fair for me to say that I'm a World of Warcraft player.
Yeah, I guess that's one of those games where just trying it to level 10 really didn't give you the full picture, whereas I played it when I was 10 years old to now I'm 25, so 15 years Plus. Let's see, when did it actually come out? I think 2004, but I'm gonna look it up. Jamie, pull that up. Came out in 2004. I am right. So 2004, my friend Reed got it for me for Christmas that year, 2004, and I played it. And I even got it earlier than Christmas because he like mailed it to me. So played it Christmas of 2004 till now, and it has stayed the game that I can put the most time into. No matter how much shit I talk about it at a certain time, no matter how many breaks I take from it, no matter how much money is wasted on a monthly subscription, it's still just a game that I always come back to for that feeling.
I see. Yeah, it's definitely one of those. It seems like one of those games that everyone who plays it, you know, has played it. Most people who are really into it and who have played it for a really long time, and they've kind of watched the game grow. And one of my best buddies is a big WoW fan, and I remember him telling me about his thoughts on one of the expansions where they kind of like cut out a whole bunch of like lore that was supposed to be expected by all the fans, and so you can see that there's a lot of like people really have invested a lot of like time and energy and, you know, obviously money into that entire culture that is the game, because it's one of those like living, breathing games, you know.
Yeah, always changing, never beatable because
it's not cartridge. It's not. That reminds me of this meme where it's like, I guess like a little kid is asking like, how did the game developers update the games if there was no internet? And the person says like, they didn't. If the game sucked, it sucked forever.
That's true. That's something you gotta live with. You're like, well, putting it on wax pretty much.
So my first is going to be Paper Mario 64, and that is because it was one of the first, I think it was the first RPG I ever played, and I always loved Mario growing up. Like, I think Mario must have been the first game I ever played, and having like the story-based game around Mario really like made me like think, you know, it really like opened my eyes to storytelling in general, I guess, and it kind of made me realize how Mario is like a franchise, like how you can kind of like take a character and like tell a story about them. As a kid, it was really cool because, like, you know, you're kind of still learning to read, I guess, so you really enjoy the, like, you're kind of like voice acting in your head, and you like can kind of like enjoy that part of it too. And like, I don't know, like there's like, it's such a big game too. Like, I remember looking at the world map as a child and thinking like, holy crap, I'm never gonna finish this game, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't know, it was just really cool, and it was like one of the games that we had that like none of my older siblings or cousins were really interested in, and I was like, why don't they ever play this one? You know, it has Mario on it, like, it must be cool, right? So like I pop it in and I'm like enthralled, and I like, again, like it was my first RPG, so like I was kind of just like first exposed to all these amazing new like game elements.
Yeah.
Pretty sweet. Pretty sick. There's a ton of cool items in that game that you can get that like badges that like increase, they give you like little buffs and stuff, and like I don't know, like
I feel like I would have liked that one probably more than the other Marios that I was exposed to. I'm trying to think of then what's my first RPG that I ever played. I think it was Fable. Did you ever play the Fable games?
Oh.
Okay, you can throw that on my side then.
It was on the original Xbox.
Yeah.
The one that I had seen or played.
And that was I don't know if it was the first RPG I ever played, but it's the first one that I can say that too. Like it introduced me to different game elements. Like you could get a tattoo, you could be the bad guy, like you could be evil and you could like hurt people and shit, and like you could get married and like have sex, and it was like it was crazy. You could be like a fighter or like an archer or a wizard, and like that's the game that I kind of defined. Like, I play a mage in WoW to this day, so I kind of learned in the Fable games, like, okay, I want to be the guy that has magic. If I can do, like, sword, shield, and magic, I do, but if I have to just choose the magic, then I'll be the wizard guy. And that's, like, that's how I am in most games that are like that. I go for the spells.
Wizard James.
Yeah, I go for the spells.
My next game, which is Yoshi's Island, for Super Nintendo, and that is not only because of the art style, which I think is like one of the coolest art styles in any game, but Yoshi's Island has some really great game mechanics, and I don't know if you've ever watched Game Grumps at all.
Yeah.
But when JonTron was still on it, they played Yoshi's Island, and they both loved the game a lot, and they talk a lot about how the different game mechanics are really good, stuff like that.
Okay, that might be one. Do you have a way to play these games? Do you have an emulator or a...
Check it out!
Okay, what's your web? There you go, okay.
Yoshi's Island, boy!
Damn, okay. So, dude, when you're streaming, you should, we should get you a big shelf behind you, and you can display all of your... You should turn your games more into... And then, like, have a collection. Have it up on a shelf and looking cool. Because you have a big game collection for...
That's a good idea.
Yeah. I always just I like the look, and like I should too. All these shelves here, I should put all my like this should be a WoW figurine here. Should be a little Overwatch Genji or something on my shoulder. Yeah. Should be like a banner. I should have like just a big Horde banner on the wall. I need stuff. I need income.
Yeah.
Which brings me to the next segment. No, I'm just kidding.
Give me money.
But yeah, WoW and those games actually did teach me a lot about money too. Like, you have to conserve your money. But same with Pokemon too. Pokemon, we can probably put in the pink. Pokemon taught me about resources, and like you can't spend all your money on just PP potions or whatever the hell. Like you gotta buy only what you need, It's the same way in real life. You can't just get a bunch of nerds rope and then expect that you're gonna have money left over.
Nerds rope.
And Pokemon
is like one of my favorite games ever, for sure. I played the hell out of Leaf Green when I was a kid. That was actually the first one I ever got for myself. I had played Red and Blue before I owned Leaf Green, but I guess I was kind of like, I was a little bit inhibited when it came to video games by my parents. They didn't really want me to have too many of my own video games at the house, so growing up, the only way I was really able to play games would be when we went to my grandma's house. So early on, it was more of a access thing, for where video games were like just like like something
You played what you got.
Yeah, but so Pokemon was like this awesome one that I didn't ever have before, and I always wanted it. So that was a huge one for me. Pokemon Charizard.
I think I remember that too. Being it was the one of the red version, the red version that when it
Fire
first
Red.
started coming to the small cartridges.
Yeah, yeah, Fire Red. You're probably thinking of.
Because everything before that was either bought for me or like my cousin had it, like you said, or something. So I got it some other way. But that was the first one where I was like, I want this game. Go into the store to get it. Probably one of the first video games I purchased with my own money.
Pokemon was.
Yeah, or my allowance or whatever the hell. Like, I was like, that's what I need.
Hmm.
I played the hell out of those games, and I would play them like I remember, yeah, playing it on the way to school in the car, and it would just. That's the first time I remember not wanting to go to school because I was like, dude, I just want to sit in this car and like play I could sit in this car and play Pokemon all day rather than go into school right now and not be playing Pokemon.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
that was the first time I didn't like school. I was like, shit.
Yeah, I remember trying to play my Pokemon Yellow version in school, and I was just like, I would play it like under the desk, like with a book or something. That was good times.
Yeah. Which brings me to other Game Boy games. Which did you ever play the Spider-Man game?
I did play one of the Spider-Man games on Game Boy. I played the Game Boy Color one actually. It's
Did you fight? Is that the one where you fight Doc Ock?
I think
There
so.
might be multiple where you fight Doc Ock. I don't know.
Yeah. I feel like all I really remember was that when you press A and B at the same time, it shot a web, and then you could like, I don't know, it was a really good game. But you fought like the Vulture and I think the Sand guy, the Sandman. It was like a lot of the older guys. Like, I don't know if you even fought the Green Goblin in that game. But
Spider-Man's actually always had good video games. Even the newest Spider-Man game was really good.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about the latest Spider-Man game.
Super good. I loved it. I played almost 100% of it. I mean, I played 100% of the storyline. I was working on the little recon missions or whatever, the time trials, to actually do like 100% of the game.
Yeah.
And then there's the DLC too, and there's extra stuff, so it's just... Spider-Man's always had some good games, and I remember on the original Xbox, it was Tobey Maguire Spider-Man,
Uh-huh.
and that was a really good game, and at the end, if you beat it, you could be the Green Goblin, and you got the glider, and then that was just a completely different game in itself. You were just flying around, like, destroying everything with the machine guns on the glider, which is like the most OP weapon that you'd ever seen.
Oh man, speaking of OP weapons, I know what we need to put next in the middle. Age of Empires.
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
We should,
so
dude. We should play some Age of Empires. We could do a whole video where we just play Age of Empires.
that'd be pretty cool. But what I was thinking of for Age of Empires, when you type in the cheat, that's like, how do you start this thing or something like that, it gives you a freaking Cobra car, like a
Yeah,
race
that
car.
fucking blows everything up.
Yeah, with machine guns on it. That's like the greatest like cheat code ever. Besides maybe in Age of Mythology, where
Yes.
if you type in "Oh Canada," it gives you a fucking laser bear
Yes.
that has a Canadian cape on it.
Dude, Age of Mythology too. I forgot
Yeah,
about
we
that.
can
That
go-
had a great story. If you ever played through the story campaign of Age of
Yeah.
Mythology, that was awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
What a good game. I wonder how
Okay.
much that would be on Steam. Let me look.
It's probably like $20.
I'll look later.
Okay, well, I think that we talked about enough games for this one. That's for part one of Have You Played It with James and Squall. We're gonna keep on doing this. And
Sure, yeah. I mean,
we will catch you back at the next, and you can check out some more games that we both love, or that either of us love. And if you liked this video, make sure to like and leave a comment on your favorite games of all time, and maybe we'll play them.
Yeah, definitely follow us on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, especially. Subscribe to us on YouTube. That's the important one. If you subscribe to me on YouTube, I'll build you a Minecraft monument. It'll be sweet.
If you donate to our Twitch stream, you will receive a Minecraft effigy of your face that will then be burned on stream.
There you go.
In a ritualistic fashion.
There you go. Deal. That's a good deal. That's a bargain.
And if you donate $50 or more, you get a special place in our Minecraft realm. That's right, you get to play with James and Squall.
There you go. That's an even better deal. That's like a limited time offer.
That is definitely a limited time offer, because let me tell you what, folks, you can only have like 10 people in a realm. So if you're trying to play with some cool guys, then you better hop on that real quick.
I'll put my Minecraft bed right next to yours.
Oh, snap. Getting a little heated. But we'll save that for episode 2 of Have You Played It? See you next time.
Thank you for watching.